want to show you today how you can make a newsletter that you can embed into your website so that as you update it, it updates it in live time on your website and you do not have to actually log into the website to update because your newsletter will constantly be updating. So it saves you from uploading separate files and keeps it all in one place, which is great for your families. So the first thing I started with was a blank template for a newsletter. I simply searched a Google search and looked for a good blank template that would suit me well. I looked for ones that were available in PowerPoint or Google Slides because I knew anything in PowerPoint would also feed well into slides. So this was one that I found that I felt suited me well. They have a whole bunch of them to choose from here that you can edit and customize to your own. I chose this one and then I customized it in my final product to look like this. Now, if this was last week's newsletter and I'm getting ready to update it for next week, I could simply do a few things. I obviously can change the text, but I'm also going to want to change the date and maybe the background color so that when I put it on my website, it will look a little bit different to parents and families. So now I know that this is this week's. I've changed the date. Hopefully I've changed some of this information as well, but I also made it look a little bit different. Over here is my final newsletter collection. So I'm collecting slides essentially where I'm going to keep adding my newsletters. So I'm going to go back to my bank right here and I'm going to just copy this one that I edited and changed. I'm going to do edit. Oops, let me select it. I'm going to do edit, copy, and then I'm going to go over to my final newsletter here and I'm going to click off of this slide and I'm going to paste it. It takes a second to paste. So it's coming. And then here's this week's. You can tell by the difference in the color and the difference in the date. However, I want to make sure that this week's is going to be the first thing my parents and families see. So I just drag it back up to the top, putting last week's below it. Now I'm ready to get it onto my website. To get it onto my website, I need to publish it to the web. So that's really easy to do. I publish to the web. I want to change a few things. I don't want these slides to advance as fast because I'm using it as a newsletter. So I want to change this to every minute. I also want to make sure that I have, I'm embedding it actually. I'm not just providing the link. So again, I'm going to change that to every minute. And then I'm going to copy this code right here. I'm going to copy all that code. Make sure I grabbed it all. And I'm going to head over to my RH Teacher website. Once I'm in my teacher website, I have a web page that I've designated to newsletters. For me, it's newsletter samples. So I'm going to click on that page. And once I'm in here, you can see my page is blank at the moment, but I'm going to add or I'm going to embed that newsletter that I just wrote. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and click HTML. Once I'm in here, I'm going to paste that code that I copied and save it. It tells me my information has been saved and it also gives me a little peek at it. If I head over to view my site, we can see it a little bit better. I'll click on my newsletter sample. And there you can see I have this week's newsletter. And if they wanted to click back, I also have last week's newsletter in there. So they could look at slide 2 to see last week's newsletter and see the difference in them. It's a really, really nice way to update your website frequently, to add those newsletters, to make them look embedded, maybe even add a bit of personalization to your website. And again, to keep your parents and families informed. So that's one kind of easy way to do it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'd love to help you.